Coming up on OU Nightly, Hurricane Helene barreling toward the Gulf Coast, how it can impact OU's first SEC away game. Plus, tensions rising between Israel and Hezbollah, where the conflict stands. And the city of Norman encouraging residents to conserve water today. We'll tell you why. This is OU Nightly.
Well, thanks for watching OU Nightly. I'm Chloe Arroyo.
And I'm Kennedy Patterson. We begin tonight with some new information just into the newsroom regarding the planned execution of Emmanuel Littlejohn.
Governor Kevin Stitt's office says he has not come to a decision on whether or not to grant clemency to Littlejohn. In a statement, a spokesperson says the governor has met with those involved including family members, prosecutors, victims, and defense.
Littlejohn, who was convicted in a 1992 Oklahoma City murder, is set to be executed tomorrow at 10 a.m. And more news out of the governor's office.
We are learning today that Governor Kevin Stitt recently underwent heart surgery. OU Nightly's Abigail Franklin is following this story for us. She's live in the newsroom with details.
Governor Stitt underwent surgery on Friday at the South Campus of the Oklahoma Heart Hospital. His office says it was scheduled at the Oklahoma City Hospital after doctors found a blockage in his main artery. Governor Stitt's office released a statement saying his doctors discovered a significant blockage after a routine checkup. He underwent intravenous surgery on Friday where the blockage was repaired with a stent. His office says he's doing well and has returned to the office. We do not have any details on exactly how the governor's surgery went, but what we do know is that Oklahoma's Lieutenant Governor, Matt Pinnell, was not notified about this surgery until after the fact. I spoke to the Lieutenant Governor's communications director, and she told me on Tuesday the governor's chief of staff called the Lieutenant Governor's chief of staff to let her know the governor had undergone surgery on Friday. When we asked for an interview or a statement, they said the Lieutenant Governor was not available for our newscasts. I also followed up with the governor's office. The only other information they released was that the governor was thankful to the medical staff and he encourages all Oklahomans to get checkups and prioritize their health. Reporting live in the newsroom, Abigail Franklin, OU Nightly.
Thank you, Abigail, for the update. Now, after multiple days of weather across campus, it sure is nice to have a full day of sunshine.
OU Nightly meteorologist Carlin McCreary is right outside of Gaylord, soaking in the sun and fall weather. Carlin, how's it feeling out there?
Ladies, it is just beautiful. I'm enjoying it out here. It definitely feels like fall. And like you said, the sunshine is out and about, unlike last night when we saw some severe storms move through parts of the metro, dropping some even hail in parts of Oklahoma City. Take a look at this photo from our very own OU Nightly meteorologist Scotty Allen of the Supercell over campus. And as the temperatures have stayed on the rise, the allergies have as well. The weeds are on the higher end, so keep that in mind if you do need to go get some tissues into the rest of the week. Coming up in just a little bit, I'll talk a little bit more about how Hurricane Helene is going to affect travel plans for those of you heading down to Auburn, and I'll have a little bit more about the forecast into the rest of the week with fall temperatures on the way. Ladies?
Thank you, Carlin. The House just passed a new spending bill in a 341-82 vote. Getting this bill through is one of the last actions Congress will take before voters head to the polls. CNN's Julia Benbrook has more on what is in this bill.
Just a few days before the September 30th deadline.
We apologize for the technical difficulties, but the next step is to get the bill through the Senate. The bill should reach the Senate floor this evening, and if passed, will be sent to President Joe Biden to sign.
Now, tensions remain high between Israel and militant group Hezbollah. Julia Roberts is following those developments along with the rest of today's national and international headlines from the News Center.
Chloe, Israel military commander announced Tuesday troops are preparing for a possible ground attack in Lebanon. The announcement comes as thousands of people in Lebanon flee their home amid ongoing Israel airstrikes targeting Hezbollah. Israel official says the country prime minister is open to discussing de-escalation efforts with the U.S. The state of Missouri executed death row inmate Marcellus Williams despite efforts from attorneys on both sides of the case. Williams was sentenced to death for the murder of the 1998 murder of newspaper reporter Felicia Gale. Both the Missouri Supreme Court and the governor denied Williams' request to halt the execution. Williams was put to death by lethal injection Tuesday evening. And a Pennsylvania college athlete accused of using a box cutter to carve a racial slur onto a teammate is no longer enrolled. School officials at Gettysburg College says it happened during an informal swim team gathering early this month. It's unclear if the student was expelled or faced other disciplinary action. A spokesperson for the college says the investigation is ongoing. Chloe, Kennedy, back to you at the desk.
Well, thanks, Julia. Hurricane Helene marches through the Gulf and residents along the coast are preparing for the worst.
We'll tell you how the community is preparing for the threat ahead.
Plus, a look at what you can do at home to make water more accessible for folks in Oklahoma.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Emma, did you hear?
Todd's in the hospital.
Who's Todd? He got a collapsed lung from vaping. He thought it was cool.
Not cool.
Promise you won't vape, Emma. It can lead to a lifelong addiction, and we can't be friends if your lungs collapse.
Bogus.
Wacky sitcom teens aren't the best people to talk to your kid about vaping.
Hey, you got a minute?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed.
When we have the food we need, we are at our best. We push further. We rise higher. We unlock our full potential. When we have the food we need, we make our communities stronger. Together, we can help everyone get the food they need to thrive. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow.
Water is our most precious resource and something that should be conserved and used wisely. Here are some water conservation tips you can try. In the kitchen, collect the excess water you use to rinse produce and use it to water houseplants. Also, soak your pots and pans instead of letting the water run while you scrape them. Water is life. This message was brought to you by the City of Norman.
Homes collapsed in North Carolina and Floridians are bracing for Hurricane Helene. And serious damage left behind after a hailstorm in OKC. Colson Pocock has the details in Earth Report.
Evacuations are underway as Hurricane Helene barrels towards the Florida Gulf Coast. At last check, the hurricane is expected to be a Category 4. Helene is on track to make landfall late Thursday with the eye set to hit Florida's Panhandle. And the ocean claims another home in Rodanthe on North Carolina's Outer Banks Islands. This home is the third one to fall this week and the 10th one since 2020. National seashore officials say they expect more houses to fall as the beach continues to erode. They are also recommending homeowners in vulnerable areas should demolish to prevent full houses from collapsing. And baseball-sized hail batters parts of the Oklahoma City metro during Tuesday's storms. The hail leaves residents in northwest Oklahoma City with busted car windows and roof damage. 60 to 80 mile per hour winds also contributed to the damage. Many residents are already picking up from the storm, including repairing an Edmond golf course. Around 200 golfers came to Rose Creek Golf Course to fix divots caused by the hail so that the tournament would not be delayed. Kennedy, Chloe, back to you guys.
Well, thank you, Colson. Now, Water Resources are working year-round to ensure Norman residents have access to water. With the weather changing, so does the demand, and they may need your help to keep water available. OU Nightly's Abigail Franklin has the details on how social media is helping conserve water.
A familiar sound within your household.
Right now, our demand is increasing.
The City of Norman Water Treatment Plant is working around the clock to supply their residents.
Strictly here, we're just treating the water that we get from the lake and then sending it out to town for everyone's consumption.
With seasons changing, so does the demand for water.
From getting out of the winter time, no one really uses a whole lot of water, to now we're getting close to our max capacity.
Despite increasing demand, water conservation is important all year round, like reducing the amount of water you use to cook, or fully loading your dishwasher to eliminate hand washing. Tips like these are exactly what the City of Norman gives their residents on Water Wednesday.
We actually used to send our tips to the Norman Transcript to be published every week, but we really wanted a way to engage more people, and social media right now especially is a great way to do that.
Keeping residents and business owners informed to reduce water usage weekly.
We pull from different sites and we get really good ideas from our water treatment plant team as well. There's some different conservation agencies and organizations here in Oklahoma that we track and follow, and we try to keep up with the latest.
So next time you turn on your faucet, think of ways you can conserve with a Water Wednesday tip. In Norman, Oklahoma, Abigail Franklin, OU Nightly.
The City of Norman posts tips for saving water on any of their social medias and their website.
And it's National Recovery and Suicide Prevention Month, and OU students are spreading awareness.
See how one group is helping those on their journey to recovery when OU Nightly returns.
And Hurricane Helene on the move. I'll have its track and how it's going to affect people traveling to the OU versus Auburn game. Weather's next.
Everyone has a ritual, that small thing that keeps us focused. A habit we never skip to clear our minds and elevate our performance.
But what do you do to keep your head in the game, to drown out the self-doubt and support your mental health? Because being your best isn't just about taking care of your body.
It's about taking care of your mind and mental health. Discover the resources you need to keep your mind focused and your mental health a priority.
Water is our most precious resource and something that should be conserved and used wisely. Here is a water conservation tip you can try. In the bathroom, if your shower can fill a 1-gallon bucket in less than 20 seconds, replace the shower head with a water-efficient one. They are cheap, easy to install, and can save you up to 750 gallons a month. Water is life. This message was brought to you by the City of Norman. Water is our most precious resource and something that should be conserved and used wisely. Here is a water conservation tip you can try. In the bathroom, turn off the water while you brush your teeth. You'll save about 4 gallons per minute. That comes out to about 200 gallons a week for a family of 4. Water is life. This message was brought to you by the City of Norman.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us. Happy Wednesday. We do have Hurricane Helene currently barreling through the Gulf of Mexico as it does continue up towards the Gulf of Florida. That's what we're tracking right now. It is a Category 1, but projected to be a Category 4, so it could really cause some historic damage for parts of the Florida Panhandle. Tracking this out, you could see by tomorrow, right around noon, could be right around Category 3 strength. That's only going to increase as it does make landfall towards the Gulf of Mexico. It's eventually going to make its way up into parts of the south, bringing a lot of rainfall for areas of the south. So Auburn, those of you driving there, keep that in mind because it is going to be heavy rainfall, damaging winds, a lot of severe type weather that's going to be down there, especially on Thursday night into Friday. So if you're planning on traveling at that time, keep that in mind. But by the time the game does roll around, we should be in the clear for weather down there. But it does eventually continue to move up into parts of the Ohio Valley. Here, though, in Norman, currently it is very comfortable outside. The sunshine is out, 82 degrees for that temperature. The humidity is low. So once again, just a comfortable fall day out there. And across the metro, temperatures are sitting in the similar value, 84 for El Reno, 83 in Minco, 82 in Purcell, extending outward, similar temperatures. So a lot of us are sitting very comfortable out there across Oklahoma. And over the next few days, those temperatures are going to stay. We're going to keep the 80s around for the most part. Tomorrow, 79 could reach 80 degrees, but as we head into the rest of the week, Saturday, 82 degrees, 84 by Monday. So on Saturday, if you're not planning on going to Auburn, might want to go watch the game on a patio or something. It's going to be beautiful once again because we're going to keep that sunshine around until the time we do reach parts of the weekend. We could see remnants of the hurricane move through. So timing all this out for you, by Thursday, you could see temperatures sticking around in the 70s. Those lows could reach the 50s, but we're going to stay on the cooler end for those lows over the next few days. It is going to feel like fall. That next chance for some rain, especially in the eastern part of the state, is going to be on Friday. That's from remnants of Hurricane Helene moving up into parts of our area, especially for the eastern part of the state on Friday. Moving on into Saturday, though, could see a stray shower or two, but nothing crazy as of right now. Those clouds are going to stick around. So into tomorrow, if you are planning on being outside, we are going to be in the low to upper 70s by 5 p.m. 78 could reach 79 or 80. Still tracking that out, is still going to be warm. And once again, if you are heading out to the Auburn game, by kickoff, 77 degrees, halftime 78. So it's still going to be comfortable outside and the sunshine's going to be out. But as I said, if you're traveling, keep that in mind that the hurricane is moving up, could cause some travel issues, especially with flights into parts of the weekend. So over the next few days, it is going to feel like fall, especially by the time we do reach the weekend. 82 by Saturday, 84 on Monday, 88 into next week. So we're going to kind of return into some warmer temperatures next week. Are you ladies traveling to the game or have any plans for the game, especially since I think it's our first away game, right?
Yeah, it is our first away game. Yeah, you know, and we're starting it off super exciting.
Very exciting.
Eventful weather.
Very
for
exciting.
Sure.
Yeah, I wish I was traveling, but you know, I'm just a little worried about booking a flight, especially since the weather's coming in. I can expect a lot of flight delays are going to be happening, especially in the south, extending up into our area. You know, once one plane gets delayed, it's kind of like a domino effect, right?
It really, really is. So students are going to have to be watching out for that heading into the rest of the week.
Yeah,
or even if they come in, or if they go into town earlier.
Yeah, are y'all gonna watch it on like a patio? Like, what's the plan? What are y'all thinking about for the game?
I definitely will be watching it on a patio, but I do wish all of those, you know, safe travels.
Yeah.
But thank you, Carlin. As September begins to come to a close, so does National Recovery and Suicide Prevention Month. One campus group is bringing together students on the road to recovery. Tonight, OU Students in Recovery will hold its Stories of Hope event at Zaro Hall. The group's president, Kate Yamashita, tells OU Nightly the meeting will focus on connecting with others and creating community.
We share stories just of resilience and of anything in our personal history. It's really a space for people to come and be heard.
Yamashita says supporters of those in recovery will also be welcomed. This event begins at 7.
And OU football fans will find out just how short-handed they are before they head to Auburn.
And our Hallie McPherson has more in sports.
And OU volleyball sets up conference play with some new opponents. Stick with us to hear who the first SC team to walk into McCaslin Fieldhouse is.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut, the one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the one that says, sure, I can have a drink, or the feeling that says, okay, I've been drinking, now what? It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed, better leave the car when it's time to go. Plan ahead, catch a sober ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Water is our most precious resource and something that should be conserved and used wisely. Here are some water conservation tips you can try. In the kitchen, collect the excess water you use to rinse produce and use it to water houseplants. Also, soak your pots and pans instead of letting the water run while you scrape them. Water is life. This message was brought to you by the City of Norman. Did you know that trash, like plastic bottles and fast food wrappers, can carry germs and bacteria? When these items are tossed in the street, they eventually find their way to a river or lake and have a negative impact on aquatic life. Keep our waters clean by putting your trash in the bin. For more information, visit bit.ly/Norman Stormwater.
I'm Hallie McPherson, and it's time for sports. OU football's first SEC game didn't go as planned, but OU volleyball could get some Sooner spirits up. Volleyball serves up their first SEC conference game tomorrow night, hosting number 15 Florida in McCaslin Fieldhouse. We had a couple players right here last night on Sooner Sports Pad. Alexis Shelton and Lydia Martin say they fit right in this new conference.
Very excited. The SEC is notoriously known to being a higher level of competition. There's more ranked teams, there's better teams than in the Big 12, and honestly I think we're just ready and prepared to kind of face that challenge this year and kind of be the underdogs.
I would agree. I think we've been pushing ourselves in practice just to stick to what we know and being OU volleyball, and we've kind of defined that ourselves.
Starting Cheetah Kendall Dolby was carted off the field last Saturday after an ankle injury. The whole team showed their love for Dolby, and even head coach Brent Venables shared his heartbreak after losing an impactful player.
We lost Kendall Dolby. Just my heart breaks for him. He'll be fine. He'll recover, and he'll continue to have an opportunity to play this game a long time. But he's a guy that I've been bragging on for several months for obvious reasons, and just hate that. That is a part of the game. You hate that for him.
On the other side of the ball, with injuries being critical to OU's offensive success, many OU fans have their eyes open for the SEC injury report update tonight at 7. Jaquays Petaway stays ready to step up anywhere on the field.
We have guys going down, so that just means more people need to step up. And whatever role I get, whether it's on special teams, anywhere on offense, I'm just going to step into the plate. And whatever I got to do it. It's been pretty tough, but just been getting recovery, get back to 100%, and I feel pretty good right now.
A few former Sooners compete against each other on Thursday Night Football. First-round picks Tyler Guyton and receiver CeeDee Lamb with the Cowboys go up against running back Eric Gray and the New York Giants. Kickoff is at 7:15 tomorrow night in MetLife Stadium. Breaking out the rackets, 3 Sooners competed in the Intercollegiate Tennis Association today. And let's just say they could have learned a thing or two from my Wii tennis days. Colo Monti lost in 3 sets, and behind him, Alina Sherbanina and Julia Garcia Ruiz couldn't get a win either, losing in straight sets. Kennedy, Chloe?
All right, well, thanks so much, Hallie. Now, foster care is on high demand across the country, but humans aren't the only ones who partake in the system.
Stick around to seeing the touching bond of an unconventional pairing.
There are a lot of temptations facing young people today, like electronic cigarettes and skateboarding. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes. This can lead today's youth to a lifelong addiction and severe lung damage. Recall and consider the facts before making a poor decision.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
Everyone has a ritual, that small thing that keeps us focused. A habit we never skip to clear our minds and elevate our performance.
But what do you do to keep your head in the game, to drown out the self-doubt, and to support your mental health. Because being your best isn't just about taking care of your body.
It's about taking care of your mind and mental health. Discover the resources you need to keep your mind focused and your mental health a priority.
We said we'd never break the 3-second rule. Never do that. And never become a minivan mom.
Hey, Chris.
As parents, we say never a lot, but never happens. So when you say you'd never leave your child in a hot car, know it can happen. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock.
Emma, did you hear?
Todd's in the hospital.
Who's Todd? He got a collapsed lung from vaping. He thought it was cool.
Not cool.
Promise you won't vape, Emma. It can lead to a lifelong addiction, and we can't be friends if your lungs collapse.
Bogus.
Wacky sitcom teens aren't the best people to talk to your kid about vaping.
Hey, you got a minute?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
I'm Kariana Gamboa at the OU Nightly Update Desk. Oklahoma Highway Patrol says 10 inmates are hospitalized after a transport bus overturned near Perkins today. Troopers say the driver of a pickup truck struck the front of the bus after trying to pass another vehicle, sending the bus into a ravine. Other inmates on board were sent back to prison in Cushing. Chloe, Kennedy.
Well, thank you, Kariana. Now, a baby gorilla finds her new mom far away from home. 1.5-year-old Abeo was born at Seattle's Woodland Park Zoo, but her birth mom failed to bond with her.
After one failed foster mom at the Woodland Park Zoo, officials moved Abeo to the Louisville Zoo to be fostered by 40-year-old gorilla Quelly. Zoogoers can now see how much the new family is enjoying each other.
That's so sweet. I
Very
just love that.
sweet, very
I love
cute.
it.
I love that
All right.
story.
Isn't that so sweet?
Yeah, it's
I
so
just
sweet.
love it.
Louisville too. I'll have to go see it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
All right, bye. Don't take the weather, Carly.
Well, temperatures are going to stay in the 80s over the next few days, just in time for fall. So this weekend, if you have any outdoor plans, it's going to be beautiful, and sunshine is going to be out and about. Look at this 7-day. It is just beautiful. I'm like looking at it, I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't wait. I'm so excited.
I love it. You can't go wrong with that look right
No,
there.
not at all,
Yeah.
not at all.
Beautiful temperatures outside, you know, pumpkin spice everything this time of year.
Definitely.
Yeah, no, for sure. Sweatshirt weather. I mean, I think the 80s is sweatshirt weather. I don't know about y'all, but I break
quite.
it out. I break it out early. I'm like going to class at 8:30 in the morning. You've got those kind of cooler mornings, you know. So I have an
I will
8:30
say-
and I always throw on a sweatshirt.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, let's say the classroom gets a little colder.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Always,
So always come
always.
prepared with your jacket or something.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks, Garland. And thank you for watching OU Nightly. I'm Chloe Arroyo.
And I'm Kennedy Patterson. Be sure to watch OU Nightly live weekdays at 4:30. Good night.
Hate is loud. It gets clicks. It gets attention. Hate, however, is actually quite small. But love is the majority. Love feels